It's time to connect the dots. There's some big brain activities. We're gonna go from Candace, Cameron, Bure to Sinbad. Candace played DJ Tanner, the eldest of the three sisters. Candace Cameron Bure was acting along with John Stamos, who was Uncle Jesse. And when he wasn't playing Uncle Jesse on Full House, John Stamos was Dr. Tony Gates on ER. And from John Stamos on ER, we're actually going to connect the next dot to George Clooney. From ER, we're going to follow George Clooney to Ocean's 11, where he was a co-star with Brad Pitt. From Ocean's 11, we're going to follow Brad Pitt over to Mrs. and Mrs. Smith, where he and Angelina Jolie were wheeling and dealing, gunfighting, being action heroes together. From one action film to the next, we're going to follow Angelina Jolie to when she was in the movie Wanted. I'm going to tell you right now, when I first saw they curved that bullet, it had to be one of the dopest scenes in all of cinematic history. You know how much force you got to put on a gun to curve a bullet? An entire bullet. For the next stop, we're going to follow Morgan Freeman from Wanted to Bruce Almighty, where he was God himself. After Bruce Almighty, we're going to follow Jim Carrey when he was in The Mask. Here, Cameron Diaz was the love interest. And then in Shrek, Cameron Diaz also voiced the love interest as Princess Fiona. Definitely one of my favorite parts of Princess Fiona was when she was singing with that bird. Hit that high note, that bird turned into breakfast. Of course, we know Eddie Murphy was also in this as the voice of Donkey, and he's going to be the next dot. In a completely different genre of film, which is in Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy. And then I'm going to go in a very intriguing direction that I wasn't even expecting to go in. I'll go to a Saturday Night Live skit where Eddie Murphy was acting with Robert Guillaume. It's called Motown Upon the Swanee River skit. Look it up. I didn't even know it existed before making this video. It's a skit from the 80s. From the 80s to the 90s, we're going to follow Robert Guillaume up here to the movie Meteor Man. If you stayed with me this far, you didn't get lost on the way, you will find that Robert Guillaume connects us to our final dot, Sinbad, the movie First Kid. I watched this movie so much as a child on VHS in my grandmother's house. Oh my goodness. To this day, my favorite part of this movie was when Sammy Sims, Sinbad's character, was trying to teach Luke how to dance. You remember that scene? I hope this brings back a lovely dose of nostalgia. So who should we connect the dots with next?